Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Mastermind Creations Perfection Series PS-27 Deletus, their version of Scrapper. You can see them there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put them off the side real quick and take a look at the box. And yep, it's a Mastermind Creations box. Hooray! Yes, PS-27 Deletus right there. You got construction engineer. It's this, Ox thing. You got the nice bit of artwork there. Hey, look of, Scrapper, Deletus. With a little bit of a Devastator in the background there that says all built in, and kind of a new version of the Perfection Series logo right there, which is interesting. And of course, on the top here, you have a picture of him in his robot mode right there. On the side, you have another bit of a nice bit of artwork again with the Devastator in the background as well. And say, hey, there's some artwork. Hey, look, there's some shadowy characters in the background. Gee, I wonder who those could be. On the bottom, you have, some warnings and barcode and age of 16 and up because it's not for children. And look, there's a lineup of all of them, including, hey, look, the one that hasn't been totally revealed yet. And on the back, of course, you have, some product shots. And hey, look, there's a Shadow Devastator right there. And then his bio, if you want to read that. And some tech spec stuff, which you use, once again, the decoder right here. And use that to go, hey, look, the code is tech specs. And there you go for the box. And in the box, along with that decoder, of course, are the instructions, which are pretty decent. For the most part, there's definitely a couple of things it's really easy to accidentally gloss right over because of some of the stuff is not super clear. But yeah, for the most part, they're not too bad considering it's Mastermind Creations. Usually their instructions are kind of iffy. And of course, you have the bio card thing. Again, nice bit of artwork there of Deletus. And on the back, of course, you have the tech specs and bio again. So there you go. So, Deletus, Scrapper, whatever you want to call them. Yep. This is not the mode he's packaged in, but this is the mode I'm going to start with because I can. And also the transformation video will cover how to transform him out of the package. Yeah, he looks really cool here, honestly. Pretty darn good looking, front loader type of thing. It's very reminiscent of the G1 thing. And yeah, you can see, it looks pretty decent. You got the nice silver bits on the wheels there. You got a nice little silver ladder. You got the, hey, look, there's the thing with some, actually the controls are picked out with some black and silver. And on the wheel, there's some black and silver. Plus, you even got the little knob there for the, turning. Of course, you have, some engine bits, including this an exhaust. Right there, you got some little bits of gray right there with the little venting detail. You got, hey, there's some black and red and white lights right there. This is clearly the ratchet joints, but it kind of looks like a grill for an engine, I guess. Right there. You got some silver picked out for the pistons right there, and you got the bucket and everything. Bottom is pretty nice and smooth, everything, all that stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty darn good. It looks pretty darn good. So yeah, of course it can roll pretty well. On a surface like this, it's a little more difficult to get. Sometimes you can see the wheels don't quite hook up because, the way they do that. There's a really cool thing they do, which, the wheels for the transformation actually collapse and expand, which is really cool. Honestly, it's one of the coolest bits of engineering I've seen for these, for any transformer. Yeah, very much. He's a front loader, and it's a pretty good looking front loader. It's one of the best looking I've seen of all the Masterpiece Constructicons so far, and that's just me talking about MMC fan, I guess. But yeah. The bucket here can actually move. There's a ratchet right there. You can hear that. There's a ratchet right there, so you can move right there. You can move right here as well. Although, unfortunately, this point right here has a tendency to pop itself loose. So you kind of have to hold that. But yeah, bucket goes up and down right there as well. So pretty good, actually. So there's that. In this mode, beyond that, there are definitely some accessory things. Particularly this accessory right here. This is the gun, which, you can fold this handle away, and this can store underneath. Right there, there's a little tab. It's tab right there. There's those slots there, so it can store like that. That's also the cool thing. Basically, you can lift the bucket up as a surprise, bam, bam. So that's pretty neat. One other accessory I'll definitely show off real quick right now. I'll show the other one off in robot mode. But yeah, this thing, this is a tool. It's for the wheels, and just expand it. Yeah, for basically the wheels again. Expand and collapse, which is cool. Yeah, collapsing them is really easy to squeeze them down, but expanding them, particularly the first few times, you want to use this tool, and you use it to grip there's a little ridge right here. You can see, so use the tool to grip the ridge, and then brace that, and brace right here, and pull, and bam. After the first few transformations, though, it becomes a little bit easier to just do without the tool, as you can see, like that. But definitely the first few times, to save your fingernails and whatnot, definitely use the tool. Yeah. The last accessory I'll show off in robot mode because it's more relevant there. But yeah, generally though, this is a really good front loader, and I really like how it looks. It looks pretty nice and everything, and just really well detailed and rolls pretty decently. It's just solid. Then one other thing I did want to mention real quick, which is these little bits right here. You can see these those two bits right there. There's not mentioned in the instruction at all, but if you push down on one side, which I need a spudger to do this, hey look, these little tabs pop up, which, gee, I wonder what those are for. Likely get my guess, and this most makes me, what I think is what happens is, well, you can, you take these bits and fold them away, and then you can take the chest shield from Hook in the future and just attach it right here, so you can replicate the old toy thing with basically the flying front loader, which, yeah, it's silly, but it's nice that they have, they still included something to do that with. So there's that. So I just want to make mention of that, because instructions don't and everything, and some people are going, what are these for? These tabs for? These tabs for? So I don't know what they're for. I've never used them. It's like, well, duh, they're for that thing. They're for the silly old flying mode. So yeah, that's the thing. I just noticed I need to get a spudger in there, because those are tiny. That's just something I want to mention real quick. Yeah, it's just real quick for some measurement stuff. In this mode, he is 8.5 inches long, or 21.5 centimeters, depending. And his weight overall is 13.1 ounces, or 372 grams. So pretty weighty. Not the weightiest. I'm pretty sure Fans Toys just is weighty just because it's die-cast, but still not too bad, considering he doesn't really have die-cast. Anyway, some comparisons real quick. I was kind of racking my brain on what to compare them to, but first of all, yeah, just give you an idea, I guess, compared to other MMC combiner guys. Here's Incursus, their Onslaught, just to give you an idea. Because yeah, this is the thing, he is not, because it's 6 members versus 5 members, because they're kind of in between. But yeah, you can see Incursus there is significantly longer, bigger in general, heavier. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, but comparing that to one of the previous MMC limb bots, here is Fraudo, their Swindle. You see, he's significantly chunkier than Fraudo, though. Fraudo was the smallest limb of the Combaticons. You get an idea, basically smallest and biggest for the limb. So yeah, you get that kind of thing going on. As for other MP Constructicons, I don't have any others really, except for kind of Mecha Invasion. And then also, I reviewed that once, but that's now I only have the G2 version. But that's the Mecha Invasion Scrapper. But yeah, get an idea there. Just a size difference. Yeah, so he's not much smaller, but yeah, he's the closest thing I got to another MP Constructicon. So there you go. I don't have Fans Toys. I don't have Dreamstar. I don't have X-Trans bots. No intention to get any of them. I don't have any of the Toy World guys. I don't have any intention of getting them, so I'm not gonna buy them just for the sake of comparison. So yeah, that's the front loader. Looks pretty good overall. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy into combined mode, and we'll continue this review. So yeah, that's the leg mode overall. It's sure is a leg. Yeah, it's definitely a scrapper leg. Definitely some pretty cool things going on here. Like, yeah, the wheels flipping in right here. You're getting the transformation stuff. Some stuff that you very much have to do kind of that thing of like you have to move stuff just for the sake of getting one other part moved and then move it back and stuff. But honestly, it's not too bad. That's really cool what they did with the shovel here. Like it actually collapses down and actually becomes the two-pronged shovel that the cartoon did. So that's pretty cool. Definitely some people are a little worried about this part because there is nothing, it's just friction and there's not a lot of it. So some people are definitely worried about that. I don't think it's going to be a problem once we have this along with Mixmaster. And generally I kind of generally trust MMC at this point after this. There's a third MP combiner to have it figured out. But yeah, there's also this thing which I almost forgot. You saw that, might have seen that in the footage, but yeah, I forgot to flip this out. It's not necessary. This is just to fill in the gap a little bit. I mean, I wish it flipped out a little bit better, or maybe something like that. But or maybe like flipped out and extended further, and like maybe had there's like a little slot right here you could tab on to basically. But as it stands, it's still pretty cool. Yeah, it just looks like it's it's going to be pretty cool. You also got this. There is definitely a side to side ankle tilt as well, a pretty decent one. You can see that. And yeah, you can also, one thing is, yeah, the knee bend ratchets. Like that's pretty tight right there. That's a lot of range for a double jointed knee thing. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident in this thing. Another thing, yeah, you can tell this is where it's going to, long haul is going to slot in. And also, again, they're doing the thing of like, it's not just it's the shin and the knee, the foot, shin, and knee, and a little bit of the thigh as well. Some people were concerned because, well, basically on this thing, this side right here is ratcheted and this side is not, right, for this part right here. And some people were concerned like maybe it was like a assembly error, but it looks like no, that's intentional, like because I'm guessing that's stiff enough. Some people have complained, expressed worry about this ratchet. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Feeling that ratchet, that is a nice solid ratchet. That's not going to be an issue. So I'm not sure why people think it's going to be an issue, but it's not. Probably because some people are paranoid because of Bruticus. But oh yeah, the other thing, the gun in here can once again store in the same place it did for vehicle mode. So it does seem to somewhat, yeah, you can see it somewhat unhindered. It's kind of gets a little in the way for ankle tilt, but not too bad. Like this wheel right here will kind of get get enough out of the way. So yeah, that's the end. Leg mode looks pretty good. I'm not going to compare it to anything right now because I'll save. I'll save combined mode comparison stuff for when it's all said and done, but it's the combined mode overall is going to definitely be about roughly the same size as the other MMC guys. So yeah, but still, it looks pretty good. I really enjoyed the transformation you get here is really clever, and I really like it. And yeah, so I'm going to get combined into or not combined, transformed into robot mode, and we'll continue. And yeah, Getting remote mode here is pretty cool. The transformation, again, it's an MMC transformation, and for the most part, it's really well done. It's a solid, really well done transformation. That's pretty intuitive and clever. You might have seen me mess up a little bit. That's just because it's one of those things. It's like this video took a lot longer to get out than I thought it would, and yeah, I kind of forgot some of the exact stuff. But yeah, I kind of recovered pretty quickly. It's like, wait a minute, that's not right. Thankfully, yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, if you get something out of wrong, it's like, wait a minute, that's not right. You'll pretty quickly figure it out. But yeah, generally it looks really good. It compacts really well. Everything compacts really well, and it just comes out across really solid. And you get this really nice looking scrapper. Deletus here becomes a nice looking scrapper overall. Yeah, it compacts up real, yeah. But yeah, getting in close a little bit for some detail stuff, you can see, he's got a very scrappery head, you know, with the weird visor and the plank over his head and all that stuff. The mono eye, mine's got a little scratch on it, unfortunately. Probably because of how I've been sometimes transformed it. Yeah, you get the silver right here with a bit of red and black, and the definitely not a face. Shut up. Purple again, the black and silver striping with some bits of green. Yeah, of course the gray and green all the way down here. The wheels on the sides, the implied wheels, although the real ones are inside the chest cavity. The bucket, you can see the bucket there. It kind of snugs up to the back really nicely, which is really great. A lot of, that's one of those things that a lot of scrappers have struggled with, is how to deal with the bucket, and they did a fantastic job here, how it compacts and everything. Yeah, just everything compacts really well, and it just looks really good. It's a really good toon-ish scrapper. Yeah, it takes a few liberties here and there, but honestly, those liberties are for the better, because it makes for a better toy, and that's one of those things that I generally like about MMC. They're willing to sacrifice cartoon accuracy for better toys, including, you've probably seen the renders of Hook, which, yeah, oh no, he doesn't have the club foot. Instead, he has the cab is off to the side, which is like way better than the cartoon, to say the least. Yeah, generally this is a really good looking scrapper, and he also has some pretty darn good posability, which, yeah, head here is on, swivel left and right here. There's a hinge right here, so you can look way up. There's also another hinge right here, so you can look way down, I guess. There's that right here. The shoulders, you have a rotation right there. You can even get around the bucket. You got outward, that's right there. No butterfly, because it's at this point, yeah, if looking at everything, it's like how it transforms, there's no way they could fit a butterfly in there too, which is unfortunate. There is a bicep swivel, of course, right there. There's a double jointed elbow, so he gets a nice deep curl right there. His wrists are on swivels, of course, and right here, of course, the fingers are pretty decent as well. They're not like fully posable, but they're decently posable. Of course, right here you can see right, the thumb is on a ball joint, so you got that right there. There's also a hinge at the top, at the base of the thumb as well, so you got that. Fingers are all have a hinge at the base, and there's the pointer finger has an extra couple hinges, so you can get a bit of curl right there. But all the rest of them, they're individually articulated, but they all only have one hinge each. So yeah, you can get a point at least. Yeah, pretty decent. Again, not the most posable hands, but I'm happy with that. I don't need super posable hands, honestly, for the most part, particularly at this size. Getting down a little bit further, right here, the waist joint, it's a ratchet, nice and clicky, unhindered as well. Mine is a couple, seems a couple of them have this issue, which is its natural resting point actually is slightly off askew. You can see that. That's where it actually wants to naturally rest. It should be sitting. I can't get it to sit just fine centered, but yeah, it wants to. It wants to sit off to the side a little bit, but I can get it to rest. But it seems like, yeah, the ratchet might have been slightly misassembled, unfortunately. But I can live with it, considering I can get it centered. He also has an ab crunch right there. It's a pretty decent amount of crunch. It's not a full 90 degrees or anything, but it's still a pretty decent amount, all things considered. Right here, hips, of course, the hips gets the way you can ratchet forward right there, like that. That can get out of the way for all the way back like that. You do have outward, which is another ratchet. It goes full splits. There is a thigh swivel right there. There is a double jointed knee. Pretty good curl, all things considered. Actually, if you really want, you can also do that. Break his leg. And then also do something really weird with the leg. That, and of course down here at the feet, you do have ankle tilt. Like so. The toe here can go up a bit and down a bit. Heel. You get this as well. I guess you can actually do the heel tilting, that can tilt by itself if you really want to. Yeah, pretty darn good posability overall. Pretty darn good. Again, my only complaint really, honestly, my only real complaint is, yeah, my waist joint ratchet is slightly off. I might be able to fix that myself. I have to double check that. Is there a screw under here? I have to look. Yes, there is. That's probably screws. That's one screw. I just gotta figure out. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Yeah, see if I can fix that myself. I'm pretty sure I probably can. It probably just needs to be set properly. Yeah, of course, accessories again. The gun right here. You can unfold the handle, and that will just, you know, there's a tab on the back of the handle, which can go in his hand. You can see there's a little slot in the back of his hand. Of course, that can go in like that, and it's actually pretty secure, nicely. That is a very secure grip. He is not going to drop that anytime soon. It's not loose. It's not wobbly. It's a really good handle. And of course, other accessory is, yep, the horn. It's actually probably the closest to an accurate horn from the movie. Everyone else takes super liberty to make it more like a trumpet. When it's not a trumpet, it's a horn. And of course, yeah, you can see that's a tab right there, and that can, again, in the hand. Getting these fingers open, yeah. Then you just can wrap the fingers around this, the horn, that bit, the loop, and get that tab into the slot on the hand. And there you go. Now he's on the horn, and yeah, because of how the joints are, he can, in fact, he can get it to his mouth. So yep, play the doot machine. And one other accessory he does have, which I'd almost completely forgot about doing, right here on the left arm, he has a little flip out communicator thing, which you can see has a nice bit of paint on it. You got the buttons are picked out, and he's got the little screens done with a nice, very metallic blue color. Pretty cool. So, you know, you can do this, but also the thing is, this can slide right out. That can also slide out. So now he's got a flip phone. He's got a little flip phone, which, can you hold it? Kind of. It's not great. You're kind of just, yeah, frictioning things and hoping. It's kind of more or less friction-y, sort of, if that. You're just kind of wedging it in his fingers, sort of, but you can kind of, you can pop the hit off this hinge. That's what you can do. But yeah, you can kind of get him to hold it, but it's not going to be easy to make it look good. It's not going to be easy to make it look good. I'll just say that. You can kind of hold it, but it's not going to be easy. But yeah, it's just kind of cool that it can actually slide out like that, you know. So got a little wrist communicator, and it can slide in out, and that's pretty cool. Just kind of cool that's a thing and all. So yeah, I just want to point that out. I almost completely forgot that was actually a thing. It's kind of, it's like, yeah, I even thought to myself, don't forget about the communicator. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, again, generally a really good looking robot. Generally really good. One thing I want to note is it looks like they might be planning a more toy style in the future, because interestingly enough, if I get a grip on it, the face comes off. That is very easily comes off. That face comes off because, yeah, Scrapper's had slightly different faces over the years, so it looks like they may be planning a more toy style version in the future. Yeah, it generally looks really good. Unfortunately, in this mode, there's no real place to store either of these accessories other than just in his hands. And yeah, there's nowhere to really put this either, other than off to the side. That's all. I guess the only real drawback. But yeah, generally, Scrapper here looks really, really good. Or Deletus, I guess. Yeah, in this mode, his height to the top of his head is 9 1/8 inches, or 23.1 centimeters. So he's a pretty tall dude. Yeah, speaking of comparison-wise, getting showing this off. Again, here's MMC's Frotto. You can see he's significantly taller than him, which, yeah, they're both a leg, but yeah, he makes up more leg. But yeah, here's again MMC's and Cursus, which yeah, you can see still significantly taller by a good margin there. Still a good margin taller. He's still a big chunky boy comparatively. And here's the Mecha Invasion Scrapper, which yeah, you can see is pretty much a whole head shorter. Again, this is the closest thing I got to a masterpiece Constructicons beyond what I'm getting with MMC, but yeah, you can see that. And because yeah, standard here is MP36 Megatron. Yeah, he's pretty much almost the same height. He's not quite as tall, but he's almost the same height. We were talking about like just like maybe a quarter of a head tall shorter. So yeah, there's that. Which means that is it for Deletus here. Once again, MMC is doing a really good job. This is a very really solid, good first impression. Even people who typically don't like MMC are saying, okay, this is a really good figure. So yeah, you know they're doing a really good job here. Again, one of the clever things I love about this is the wheels, how they expand and shrink thing, which is just really good. It's an amazing thing to do. I genuinely like that. He's pretty nicely posable. The transformation again is amazing. The MMC transformation is really solid, but it's easy to figure out, at least by the standards of MP. Fairly simple. It's fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward by the standards of MP. I don't say it was simple, but straightforward, somewhat easy to figure out. Not a lot of weird, insane paneling stuff. There's a lot of clever things going on. Particularly, I like what they did with the bucket and the robot mode and everything. It is a solid and good figure overall. It's just really good. It's really good for first impression. I know the next one coming, because it's already on the way for me, is Mixmaster. What do they call him? Demolitor or something? Demolition? Yeah, Demolitor or something like that. The Bone Crusher, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm hoping, you know, he's just as impressive, although from some of the people's things I've seen already, he does seem like he's going to be very much in the... He's going to be a very impressive figure in his own right. So yeah, yeah. It's a good solid... It's a good solid first member of Constructicons. It's a good solid scrapper. He retails for about $135, give or take a few. It's not too bad. It's actually considered a pretty solid considering, you know, a Fans Toys version. You know, Fans Toys, you know, run you closer to 200, and I think X-Transbots is also a bit more expensive. It's still a good solid scrapper overall, and I think it's a really good solid one. It's, you know, it doesn't go crazy with the accessories, and doesn't have to parts form or anything. It's all built in, and it looks really good, and it plays really well. It's a good, and just a good solid scrapper, and I'm really excited now because for you know, Devastator. Hopefully they're able to get a good pace going, because yeah, as it stands, 2 of them are already out, 4 more left. Hopefully we can get them all out pretty quickly. We've seen a great render of their Bone Crusher. We've seen a great prototype of their Bone Crusher, and we've seen renders of Scavenger and Hook, but we haven't seen much of anything other than artwork of Long Haul, so it's clearly going to be the last one. Hopefully they nail it, but yeah, there you go. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-Fi and my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.